So let's compare the two type of countries. So the age structure diagram, we divide the structure diagram into three parts: pre-reproductive ages, reproductive ages, and post-reproductive ages. So as you can see that in the more developed country on the right hand side, it is very stable. It is very skinny, slim. It is very slim. It's very stable. So the population growth, that's why it's very low. But for the less developed country, it is a pyramid size, meaning that we have a lot of children in the pre-reproductive age. They will become a reproductive age. That means the pyramid size will become larger and larger because the we have a lot of kids, and reproductive age, we also have high population in the reproductive age. So as you can see that the population will continue to grow in the less developed country. They won't. It is difficult to stabilize at this point. So it is kind of I don't like this, but a lot of classes, they like to compare the more developed country and less developed country to the natural history or the nature, to the opportunistic pattern, to the equilibrium pattern. I don't like to do that. I don't like to compare human being with animals. Okay. But you will see the similarity between them. But personally, when I teach ecology about population growth, I don't like to compare the more developed country with the equilibrium pattern, the less developed country with the opportunistic pattern. I don't like to do that. I think that it is not respectful to human being. So we will look at the nature. Then they have two different types. Opportunistic pattern, those are the animal, they have many offspring produced. Why? Because they have a shorter lifespan. Example, they are weeds and insects. Every time they reproduce, they will have a large population, because majority of the offspring, they die off. They die because they become the food of other animal, other consumer, higher trophic level consumer. So a lot of the offspring, they cannot live until reproductive age. So that's why every time they reproduce, they have to reproduce a lot, so that they will have some offspring can live into reproductive age to carry out reproduction. Equilibrium pattern on the other hand, only a few offspring are produced. Why? Because they have a longer lifespan. Parents, they can spend more energy and more resources to focus on raising those offspring. That's why the offspring, they have a longer lifespan. Birds and mammals are the examples. So you can see that the equilibrium pattern, they are more successful. Opportunistic pattern, they are less, I would say, less successful or less selective. So human effect, remember we talked about global warming, bioaccumulation, and population growth at the end of last lecture, and I said that population growth is a positive feedback to these two. Positive feedback meaning that when we have more and more population on the earth, we will increase the global warming and increase the bioaccumulation. So we'll give you more human effects in this lecture. the first two will give you is the destruction of the natural habitat and loss of biodiversity. Destruction of habitat, basically we can see from this picture, in 1985 the lake is really large, and then in 2015 the lake decreased in size. The island actually becomes a peninsula. So the volume of water, the lake, become less. So you can. So what will become next after we lose the habitat? After we lose more water in the lake? Yes. After we lose the water in the lake, we lose the habitat. Then we lose the animal living in those natural habitat. That is the very logical result. When we destroy the habitat, when we lost the habitat, then we lost the animal living there. So when the lake shrink, then we have less fishes or water aquatic animal live in the lake. So loss of habitat will lead to loss of biodiversity. So let's see, 1.9 million species. Okay, described so far. We have 10 to 50 million species in total. Okay, but we have 75,000 species. They are threatened to go to extinction. 2,000 species in the United States. So it seems that we have lots of species, right? In the world, we have estimate about 10 to 50 million species in total. And for among the 10 to 50 million species, we have 1.9 million species that are known to human, that we know that. Okay, but you may think that, 75,000 species, they are close to extinction, is not too much in compared to 1.9 million. But look at this, 10 to 20% of the species will become extinct in the next 50 years. This is in terms of percentage, okay? It is quite a lot. The rate is a lot faster than the last 5 mass extinction. Wow. In other words, you can see that, well, I don't want to say this, is that if the extinction of species or the loss of biodiversity continue, then we may have the 6th mass extinction coming up soon, very, very soon, okay? So please protect the environment, okay? When we protect the habitat, then we slow down the loss of biodiversity. We slow down the extinction of animals. All these, you can no longer see them. They are extinct. Okay, this kind of sand zebra leopard extinct in 1996. Golden tod extinct in 1989. Black-faced honey creeper 2004. Okay, this is really sad. Rhino. This is really sad. Rhino extinct in 2006. Okay, butterfly. No one cares about butterfly. This butterfly extinct in 79. Rhino, well, I feel sad about rhino. Sorry, it's my personal opinion. So we have the positive feedback for the population causing this to destruction of habitat causing the extinction of animal. As a matter of fact, population growth also causes destruction of habitat and also causes the extinction of animal. Basically, we blame everything to human. Yes, we human beings are really bad. we are like some kind of a plague or some kind of disease growing in the planet. We destroy the planet, yeah, basically. We increasing population destroy the habitat. Destroying the habitat will kill the animal. And we human being also hunt for the animal. Remember the rhino, okay? The extinction of rhino not because of the destruction of habitat. Extinction of rhino because of human hunting. We hunt the rhino until they extinct. That's why the population growth causes the loss of biodiversity. Yes, everything is comes from the population growth. Okay, and then human effect also causes the overuse of the resources. Yes, we human use up all the earth resources. In human population growth also overuse the resources like water, fishing, and fuel. So we have the responsibility. Think about your impact, make choices, reduce negative human effects. So what can you do to save the earth? So if you take my Bio 3 class and if you take my physiology class, okay, some of you express interest to take my physiology class. I'm really thankful for that. If you take my physiology class or Bio 3 class, you will notice something. I don't use paper. Yes, the syllabus is posted on Canvas. Even for my face-to-face physiology class, I don't use paper. The syllabus is posted on Canvas. Exam is done on Canvas. So if you are gonna take my physiology class, during exam you have to bring your laptop to the class, and then you take your exam on your laptop in the classroom. So I will proctor the exam. I'll proctor you taking the exam with your laptop, so you don't use any paper. I start doing this after I start teaching biology. When I start teaching population ecology, I feel that every semester, if I need to make a lot of photocopy, a lot of exam and syllabus, it's like I'm killing the environment. I'm destroying the environment. So I'm not walking the walk. I talk the talk, but I'm not walking the walk. So I do this with my classes. Within my power limit, I minimize the use of paper. For you, think about what you can do every day to minimize the loss, to protect your world. For example, do not use the plastic bottle. Okay. Bring your own coffee cup when you go to Starbucks. So we will start talking about different topics next time. So refer to the schedule in the syllabus.